It's terribly anxiety inducing to like be the one owning a business through any of this. We started our business in 2008, and it's not scary to start in a recession because you have nothing to lose, right? But like running a business through a recession is very, very terrifying.
Over the past 2 seasons of Business Schooled, we visited companies across the country to hear their stories of growth and change. Now, as things change faster than ever, we're checking back in with them to see how these incredible entrepreneurs are adapting. I'm Soraya Darabi, and this is Business Schooled, Changing Course, a series by Synchrony. Today, I'm chatting with Doan, who founded Missouri Star Quilt Company with his mom, Jenny. What started as free YouTube quilting lessons quickly grew into a fabric supply / quilt production / hospitality extravaganza. Missouri Star is known as a theme park for quilting fans, so I'm checking in to see what changes they've made and how they're adapting to this new normal. Let's start from the beginning. What did life look like before the pandemic hit?
Before the pandemic hit, things were great. We would go to dinner. we would walk outside. End of February, beginning of March, it started to feel a lot more serious. Mom was out doing shows. She does these big, 1,000-person, they're called Jenny on the Roads, and she was in Orlando and had a couple of shows back to back. And at the end of these shows, it's 2 hours of her telling people how great they are and loving them and showing her quilts. And then at the end, everybody likes to come and hug Jenny. And so literally, she's hugging. She's like the at-risk demographic, and she's hugging 1,000 people a night. And I finally called her and was like, "Ma, this is real." And she took my call. She was in a movie theater in Orlando, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, we just wanted to see a show. It's a matinee. There's nobody here." And so I was like, "Well, go back to your hotel. You can't hug anybody at the end of this show tonight, and then I just need you to cancel the rest, and you're going to fly home."
Aww.
And we knew that we were in sort of this little sanctuary in the middle of Northwest Missouri. And so if COVID was going to come here, it was probably going to be from tourists that were coming to visit us. When we're expecting these people to come in droves and shop and have a great time and hang out for a weekend, how do you do that and keep them safe and not be the cause of them getting sick, which would just be devastating to us?
I noticed Jenny's not with us today. Where is she? Is she in quarantine right now, staying safe?
Yeah, we're all still kind of quarantining. She has a great studio. Everybody should be jealous. She doesn't have to sit at home. She just goes to her studio and sits alone. Sorry that she couldn't be here.
And you have over 26 buildings in Hamilton. What are you going to do with all that space? Will you use it for different purposes?
We're 14 quilt shops and some restaurants and a retreat center where 40 women come and have a slumber party and make quilts. And to shut that down, we essentially shut the town down. The warehouse became our main priority, trying to make it safe and keep orders going out to keep our business alive. And the business decisions, everything was a big, weighty decision. It just happened one after another after another. It feels like we've had to reinvent ourselves a half dozen times. It's terribly anxiety inducing to be the one owning a business through any of this. We started our business in 2008. And it's not scary to start in a recession because you have nothing to lose, right? But running a business through a recession is very, very terrifying. We couldn't just live in fear. We had to be proactive and forward thinking and coming up maybe this is the new normal. What does our world look like? We can't just hope and pray that everything goes back to the way that it was,
right? Because
it might never. And so that's probably the biggest pivot for us, which has driven us looking for some diversity in our product lineup, some diversity in our customer base. We've just had to reinvent all these things that we thought we had figured out. The risk is if we get to March next year, are we in a recession? Has it turned into a depression? Are we back and everything's fine and the virus is gone and jobs are back and people have spending money? Because the investment is significant, right? We'd be putting $1 million or more into fixing up some of these buildings. And either that's the best idea we ever had or it's the dumbest and we should hold on to everything and not spend a dime because what if?
And did you discover new customers through all of this?
Yeah, we did. Mom really wanted to do something, but she's quarantined and she's like, I just want to help. So she whipped out on her iPhone a little 10-minute mask video. So she shoots it on her iPhone and it got 1 million views in a day.
If we need a mask and we don't have any of this kind of elastic, you can put a tie on. You could use the waistband of your pantyhose. You could. We don't wear them anymore, but we still have them in our drawer. So we might as well use those.
I didn't want us being we're now the mask people, and we're making these. Look, you should give us money on this. And so we were very careful to make sure it was focused on people at home and the scraps that they might have. But she made this video, got a big reach, and then we had a lot of people find us that way, and they came in and wanted to be a part of the community. This is another one of like mom's sort of genius moments, right? Because she just wanted to check in with people, right? It became less about look at these cool things and buy our supplies, and more like, hey people, I love you. The focus is always on bringing a little joy into their life. We have a filter that we put everything through over here where we say, when the customer interacts with this, or when they open this email, or when they watch this video, is their life somehow better? Whether or not they buy a product, whether or not they do a thing, is their life better because of it? And we try to make sure that everything says yes to that.
Missouri Star is about people. I'm going to play you a clip from season 1 where you talk about that.
We probably get, between 200 and 1,000 people a day.
Yeah.
At least.
They're quilters, and they're just looking for a big quilting experience.
Yeah.
You come here and shop in our shops and eat the food and go home from our goofy town of Hamilton, and you love it.
We're a business that makes money on the density of people. We don't know what's going to happen, but we hope to respond with optimism and positivity and enthusiasm in all of this. And if we can keep that even through a pandemic, then I think that there's more opportunities on the other side of this for those that do.
I'm hearing 2 things. One is learn to live in the present, get rid of the anxiety because nobody has a crystal ball, and appreciate what you do have. And in your case, that's family and a great product that makes people happy. Al, we wanted to bring you a special message from one of your loyal customers.
Hey, Jenny and Al, this is Nathan, and I'm sending you this note from my office in Denver, Colorado. I wanted to say thank you for the perfect person with the perfect content at the perfect time, helping me stay safe, helping those that I love stay safe, and just keeping us safe and sane during this absolutely unprecedented time. So when things settle down a little bit, my partner and I are looking forward to hitching up the Airstream and putting the 3 spotty dogs in the car and heading east, hopefully being able to visit you guys, visit the shop, and say thank you in person. So again, keep up the excellent content. I'm not sure that you understand how meaningful that is to people right now. So thank you again.
Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful statement. You're keeping your customers safe and sane. What does that make you feel like?
I don't know. I just feel an immense pride of the work that we're doing. Like to get a video like that, right? Or to get a card mailed to us or a note. I can't take a ton of credit for this. My mom is this gift to the world, and she's just so kind, and she just brings a light into their life. It's really, really incredible to be a part of.
So, really curious to know what has been the lesson in all of this for you?
Mom always says she has this great Mr. Rogers quote that she loves where Mr. Rogers was talking to somebody and he said, always look for the helpers. And Mom has kind of taken that as a mantra, especially through a bunch of this, like through the pandemic, is she wants to be a helper. When people look at what our company is doing, she wants them to see that we're out there trying to make a difference, trying to help, trying to be supportive.
Al, I'm so happy we had a chance to talk today, and it's really inspired me. You're acting like it's no big thing to teach Americans how to make masks or to create content every day that keeps people happy and entertained. But as someone who's tired of doing puzzles at home, I know that I'm going to go log on.
Do it.
And take a swing at learning how to make a quilt. And so, on behalf of all of us, thank you so much.
All right, send me a picture of that quilt when it's done.
I will. You know I will.
Thanks, Soraya.
Thanks. Keep watching to see how other business owners, like Al, adapted their businesses.